Hello and welcome into week 3 or week 2 of the Patriots CLNS Media Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Quaglia, sitting along Mike and Marv. We are back for a second week. They put us back on the air after our great shows from last week. So here we are. We're back here again. We got plenty to talk about in this series of videos this week. So Mike, Marv, guys, what's going on? We had quite a Sunday night last night. What's up?
I don't know how to best describe this Sunday night or what it was, but it's a sucky Sunday night. If you're Pats Nation and watching that game, man, you're probably feeling pretty down in the dumps right now after what you just saw. But there's a lot to dissect from the game for sure.
You know, we did the show, Mike, last night, and I'm still trying to figure out what we actually watched yesterday. What kind of game that was. So I can't wait to hear you guys' perspectives.
Yeah, okay. So obviously what we're talking about is we're gonna kick off the show with this. Patriots, Lions. We're gonna react to that game. And I don't know if you guys are gambling people, but let me tell you something. Just overall on Sunday, Vegas won a lot of money. Vegas stole everybody's money between the Bills. My lock of the week, this is just off topic real quick. My lock of the week was everybody else's lock of the week. Vikings smoking Buffalo at home in Minnesota. Do you know how much money Vegas probably won off of those games, off of that game specifically? Plus the Patriots game, insane. Insane. But let's talk about this Patriots-Lions game. So Patriots-Lions, last week, week 2, Patriots going to Jacksonville. Jacksonville has a lot to play for. It's essentially their Super Bowl. They're trying to get revenge from the AFC Championship game from the year before, and they do. They handle the Patriots pretty well, even with their great left tackle getting taken out of the game. The Patriots had no pass rush after showing a great pass rush in week 1. And whatever, they lose. They drop down to 1-1. And the Jaguars, they're a good team. So you could kind of ease that blow of that loss by saying, yeah, okay, the Jaguars are a good team. They have a legitimate chance at going to the Super Bowl this year. You fast forward to this week, and the Jaguars stink. I don't think they scored a touchdown. The Jaguars were garbage. And the Patriots look to bounce back against Detroit. You go into Detroit, who is 0-2 at this point, got absolutely massacred by the New York Jets in the first game of the year. It was absolutely appalling to watch. They lost 48-17 to the New York Jets in week 1. So the Patriots roll out, and I mean, we saw what happened. You guys saw what happened if you're watching this. 26-10, Detroit Lions win. Matt Patricia gets his first win as a head coach, gets it against Bill Belichick, his old boss there, and Tom Brady just looks like a below-average quarterback. Absolute garbage. So, guys, what are your first thoughts on the game? Initial thoughts. Marv, we'll start with you.
Offensively, Patriots were trash. Defensively, Patriots were trash. Special teams, Patriots were, you guessed it, trash. You don't need to be a huge analyst for this game if you saw what was happening, Patriots came in there with no effort. Guys, my biggest beef with this game, as I've been saying, was the play call, offensive play calling. Listen, Patriots have had bad defenses before. This might be one of the worst. They couldn't stop the run. The secondary is looking worse and worse as weeks go on. The secondary just looks worse and worse. But with that being said, 10 points against this Detroit Lions team is unacceptable. Josh McDaniels had probably one of the worst games I have ever seen him play, and that's my biggest beef. Brady, lackluster. I think he only threw for 133 yards, thrown into double coverage, finally got intercepted when he threw to Philip Dorsett of all people in the deep zone. It was not a great game from the offensive play call. Force feeding Sony Michel the ball, and Rex Burkhead. My goodness, do we need to just put wrapping bubbles all over him for him to go out and play, because this is his 3rd injury now, and we're only on week 3. So my beef is with the offense, guys.
Mike,
just a lot of disappointment because, I'll take it personal for a second. I honestly think Matt Patricia's a terrible coach. I never liked him as a defensive coordinator.
Three games in as a head coach.
Head coach, defensive coordinator, doesn't matter to me. I've always thought Matt Patricia sucked. And, you know, the first 2 games of the season that Detroit had, it wasn't surprising to me that they lost because Matt Patricia's not a good coach. And he wasn't a good defensive coordinator for the Patriots. I think some of the stuff that he's done over the years with the Pats kind of got overshadowed with the fact that, you know, he had Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels on the offensive side of the ball to win him games. But I never thought he was a good coach. So for the Patriots to go into Detroit and have Matt Patricia get this biggest win of his career, just a game where, you know, he's sitting back laughing like, yeah, I got those guys. I got Belichick. I got McDaniels. You know, I got them with one. You know, I'm watching this game, and obviously, yes, a lot of stuff that Marv said is true. Horrible play calling from McDaniels, Brady looking lackluster, but just the fact that Matt Patricia got a win over the Patriots, it's mind-boggling because I never expected the Patriots not only to lose to Matt Patricia, but bounce back off a game that they had against Jacksonville and play possibly even worse than they did against Jacksonville. I did not see that coming from a mile away. It really was a shocker the way the game unfolded. It's a lot of question marks about how, I mean, do we hit the panic button? Are we worried about the Patriots moving forward? I think it may be a little bit too early to do that, but the game that you saw, there's not much promising coming out of that game. Just sad to see the Patriots play so bad against Detroit. So
here's my issue with the team, and I mean not even really an issue. It's something that's glaring to me and really obvious. Years past, the thing is with the Patriots, it's even if they didn't have a great defense, something they did have was an offense led by Tom Brady and all these offensive weapons that would still win you that game. In years past, they win that game. Detroit only scored 26 points. A lot of times the Patriots average more than 30 points. So for the most part, in years past, again, they win that game. But this year, because of what happened this offseason, because Danny Amendola walked, because Dion Lewis walked, they don't have that same arsenal that they did have to be able to win a game like that. They can't win a shootout. We know it's been a big conversation topic since the middle of the offseason that Tom Brady is not surrounded by talent that is going to be able to get him that deep into the postseason. And now we've seen kind of changes going on. We know Edelman's coming back after week 4, so week 5 he's going to be back. Josh Gordon, obviously, that was a whole conversation last week, got traded to the Patriots, so he's got reinforcements coming. But looking at the team, which is very encouraging, but we don't know how those reinforcements are going to be. They're both kind of guessing games right now. Detroit is not a team that should hold Tom Brady to 133 yards. Never. Especially not with the way this team is right now. A team that gave up 48 points. 48 points to the New York Jets and Sam Darnold in his first week. His first NFL game ever. This is Tom Brady. I don't care if I'm playing out there as a slot receiver. You know how slow I am, Mike and Marv? I'm pretty slow. I'm the slowest guy you're ever going to see in your life. And I could have helped Tom Brady do better than that. That was absolutely asinine. But you know what? We're talking about Tom Brady's targets. Guys, you have to kind of put it on Tom, too, because he didn't look too sharp. There was one play that stands out to me where the momentum could have swung completely. Philip Dorsett wide open over the middle of the field, and Tom Brady misses him. I heard people saying, oh, Philip Dorsett should have made that catch. He had to jump up in the air and reach backwards, and that was a difficult catch. That was all on Tom Brady. You have to give Tom Brady problems on that. So, I mean, guys, do you agree with me? Can you put some blame of this, some part of this blame on Tom Brady? Because it was all him. And that roughing – and sorry, guys, that throw downfield where Cordero Patterson should have been there, I don't even know if I buy that. I think that was just Tom Brady just hucking the ball downfield where he didn't see anybody just to throw it away. So, boom, intentional grounding right there. A lot of this game is on Tom Brady's shoulders, too.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he's innocent at all. I think he definitely takes the blame along with Josh McDaniels, just the whole team in general. They all had a bad game. You know, usually there's times where if the Patriots do play bad or they lose a game, you know, people kind of look at Tom Brady, well, he played well. He still had a solid game. The just rest of the team couldn't put it together. I think this is one of those occasions where you definitely have to say, no, Tom, as great as you are, many might consider you the greatest ever. You got to take some of the blame in this game, too, because he did play bad, and you know he's not immune to taking some of the blame off from this game because he definitely deserves some of it for sure.
And you know, you brought something up Nick, about not having playmakers on this team. My question is, we really got to start asking this question. Where's this money going? Where's it going to?
Josh McDaniels.
Because
all that 5-year extension, all that money's in his pocket.
It doesn't make sense to me. You got teams going out there spending buku money. Look at the Rams, how much money they're putting in.
I don't even know what that means, but
buku,
I'll roll with it.
Buku is French, my friend. Buku is French for a lot. A lot. You hear me? Brady's getting cuts back his money all the time. You pay Gronk, and that contract is still friendly. Where's this money going where you can get valuable players to put in there and valuable playmakers so you don't have to go out and get a Josh Gordon? You don't have to wait for Edelman to come back. When Trey Flowers get hurt, you don't have to panic and lose 26 points, lose by 16 to the Detroit Lions.
The thing is, that's a conversation that's been going on for years now. The fact that, Belichick, Kraft, they're very frugal. They never seem to want to spend the big bucks. But at the same time, with that argument, the Patriots have been one of the most successful teams in the NFL over the last 20 years.
You're starting to reap what you sow now. Now you go into the season. You went into the season saying, the talent's kind of funny money. You went like Nick said, when you lose Brandon Cooks, you lose Dion Lewis, Danny Amendola's gone. The team doesn't have the same spunk. Did you really think that Chris Hogan was gonna be okay? He's just gonna step right in. That step right in mentality
He's been non-existent this year. He's been non-existent.
You telling me? I know for sure he's been non-existent. That's another story though. Don't even worry about it.
Fantasy. I'm so sorry.
Let's. Oh my God! Another fantasy football yesterday was so bad. So bad.
Please.
We'll talk about this as the last part of this first segment. The defense as a whole, you guys are seeing this too. Everybody else is seeing it. I don't even have to ask. It is slow. Right down to one of your biggest playmakers in Dante Hightower. It is slow. They are being run all over by a running back who's not even that fast, and LeGarrette Blount. They could not stop the run yesterday. Everybody is getting, just like I said last week against the Jaguars, it was the same thing. Everybody is getting those 5-yard cushions from the defensive backs, all the opposing receivers. And when that means when they catch the ball, they have plenty of room to make bigger plays. There was a play that Evan from CLNS Media, Patriots coverage, check it out. He's one of the best in the game. He posted this earlier today on Twitter where there was a receiver over the middle, 4 Patriots surrounding him, but they were all so far away that he made the catch and ran an extra 11 yards. That can't happen. And this defense is just so slow right now. No pass rush. I don't know if there's any moves that you can even make, or you're just going to have to roll with this and just pray that the Patriots offense gets better and you do what Patriots do best and just put up a bunch of points. You guys have anything else to say about the defense?
Yes. Like Mike said it in our last show, the defense can't get any worse. Well, it did get worse. You remember, we were like,
y'all tried to say I was crazy when I said that.
It did get worse. Now I'm going to say it can't get any worse than what we just saw against the Detroit Lions. I think Belichick is going to get these guys to the right spots eventually. They are going to get better. We see that in September. They do start off funny money. They're going to get better by October, November. Just right now, it is concerning because your top dogs aren't performing. Your McCourty's not performing. Hightowers, they're not performing. So that's when you get a little worried because you don't have those playmakers out there. And it seems like there's not a lot of effort. You saw Wise during their trying to, really pump up his guys, really get in there. And when he did, that's when Bentley got the interception. You just don't see that often. We need to see that more. It's like the team has lost itself a little bit. It's lost its identity.
It seemed to flatline right after that, though. Right after that. You saw all that defensive momentum coming out of the break, coming out of halftime, but it was almost it was like it was for just a series because when they came back out after that, it was kind of almost the exact same thing as we saw in the first half.
Here's my concern with the Patriots defense. Obviously, like Marv just said, your top dogs aren't performing. Are we gonna just expect them to hopefully flip the switch? I think thinking positively and being optimistic. Sorry, maybe that could happen, possibly. But on the offensive side of the ball, you're getting Edelman back. You know, I'm going to be optimistic as well and think Josh Gordon is going to be a huge part of the offense moving forward. That's just me thinking as an optimistic person. But I'm afraid, and my concern is this might be another season where if Tom Brady, you know, once you get Edelman back, once you get Josh Gordon into the fold, it's going to have to be a season where Brady needs to put up 30-plus points just for the Patriots to win games. I'm scared that it might be headed in that direction because so far this season, we haven't seen anything to really say that, okay, the defense is probably going to go out there and win some games and hold down a team. They've already let Blake Bortles throw for 400 yards. You know, they already had, you know, a team in Detroit Lions having their first 100-yard running back in the last several years, or whatever the case may be. You know, that's my concern is this. It's going to be a lot on Tom Brady and the offense to win this team games.
Here's a fact that's coming out of the first 3 games. The Patriots have not scored a single point on their first drive at all this season, which is what they're known for. They're known for getting the ball right away and scoring on their first drive. That's something that's missing big, and that's a telltale sign of where this offense is at right now. Patriots lose to the Detroit Lions at a score of 26-10, dropped to 1-2 on the season. And next week, people might not be hitting the panic button now, but next week they're going up against the undefeated Miami Dolphins.